What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer. Taking a look again at Monarch, Eldlich, and of course, the biggest change for this deck has been the unbanning of Change of Heart, which is actually pretty cool. So I know Libermancer Scythe locks you, but I don't know if you know this. There's no extra deck, so I don't know if he didn't notice or he just assumed I did and didn't look. Which, fair enough, I guess, on some level. But I think I'll be okay. Now he's gonna put up a Fleur, so can I break a board with one disruption? I guess we will just have to find out. But lots of cool things. So obviously you're gonna see here in a second. I do top deck Change of Heart, which is pretty good right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab this. So I'm looking pretty good because I can, activate Magician Souls, send a couple of cards here. And I can just send one, like the Prime Monarch, that's fine. Upstart Goblin's still a good card. And then I top deck the Scarlet, so even better. I'm going to force out the Baron Negate, so I can grab this, and then I can use the Pop effect. And then I can activate, Domain of the True Monarchs. I can set Tenacity. I can bring this back. Tribute Summon, which is hilarious. It's certainly part of the interaction of the deck. And go to the end phase. The only thing he has left to do is, go for the Ritual Summon, but I do have Conquistador, so he's going to draw one. He draws into an Ash, but it's not going to do anything. I can pop this so that he can't Ritual Summon, and that's the end of the duel. So pretty cool. Sometimes it isn't as complicated, right? Like sometimes you just have like really good openings. So I can go ahead and search. That way I can get two better cards off of this Pantheism, because I can search whatever I want anyways. So it's going to be Domain, and then I can go ahead and summon one card. And this is kind of one of the new cards I've been playtesting a lot, and that's Majesty's Fiend. Now, neither player can activate monster effects, but it is a one tribute monster, which I think is a little more important. Maybe even better than special summoning, right? Although I guess a Kaiju, I don't know, is anybody really playing Kaijus right now? But of course, this is just straight up the end of the duel. You can't do anything. So I think in this, the way the meta is structured right now, this is probably just a little bit better. Okay, we'll just go over everything else now. This is some sort of warrior deck. This is a casual deck, obviously. I don't think you'll be taking this to YCS anytime soon. So that's honestly not, card destruction, not the worst thing in the world, but it does suck because I did pitch both of my Illusion of Chaoses. So that was a bit unfortunate for sure. But I do at least get a Scarlet, so that's kind of neat. And I just have a lot of gas at this point. It's going to be really hard for me to lose. I was also experimenting with the Stelios. Is that what it's called? Thestalos? It discards a random card for your opponent's hand, so it's kind of cool for card advantage-wise. But, yeah, I mean, Domain of the True Monarchs. The Monarchs erupt. I got a Conquistador pop. Probably just win, right? It's probably just how you win. This is that new deck that came out, the Kishtri. Is that what it's called? Really? Okay, but I'll go ahead and pitch Conquistador. And I did Tribute Summon, so this is also one Tribute monster. Not bad, I suppose. He's going to draw a bunch of cards, which is pretty neat, but I do have the Monarchs Erupt. And these two cards actually look really, really well together, because you have until your end phase, so it's just a skill drain, which is pretty cool. He's going to destroy his own monster, which is kind of funny, I suppose. And he snipes himself. That's pretty funny. He does hit that time, which is pretty neat. And then he can go into the Shangri-La. All right. Scarlet can go ahead and vanish. I can grab a Conquistador. Pantheism can pitch Pantheism into a Pantheism. Pretty hilarious. And I did purposely search out the Prime Monarch, so that I can get a bunch of pluses. And I can plus even more now, so I wish this counted as a spell. That'd be pretty cool. But I couldn't use the effect anyways, right, because of the Monarchs Erupt. But I can shuffle that back, and then I can set. So, yeah, I guess I just still have Skill Drain, but Skill Drain's a good card. And these actually, yeah, he doesn't have enough juice. And I did play my zones kind of pretty well, because he's playing Mech Knights. You never know, I guess. This is against Egyptian Gods. It's funny. And I think he hits me twice, with Exchanging Souls, so you would think he probably would win, but I did pretty well. Harpies, I pretty much is in the side right now. Really smart of him not to set a bunch of cards, good discipline by him. Okay, Anshima as I like to call it. Can special summon itself. I can go for the domain. Could have gone for Levier. Not Levier. The Lunar Dragon, but of course this is just a little bit better. I sort of summoned another Ether into Ether, so that way it couldn't set, so that was a misplay by me. Pretty important to highlight that, of course. And when you know you're going first, it's cool. You can play Anti-Spell Fragrance, which is good against like Lightning Storm and the such. But more importantly, if you have Anti-Spell Fragrance and Dark Simorg on the board, your opponent just can't play spell cards because they have to set them, and then they can't set them. Nor can they set trap cards, of course. So it's really good. Literally only Evenly Match beats it. And I was playing a 60 card deck yesterday, and they opened Evenly Match for like 2 games. It was really depressing. But okay, he actually does control a Tribute Summon monster now. So like I said, this is like hilariously a bad matchup. But at least these effects are negated. So if he was to summon like a King's Knight, I have a whole turn to Tribute Summon again, and all I really need is just 1 card on the field, which very easy to pull off. Although I have to wait at least a turn because Slifer the Sky Dragon's on the field, which I can go ahead and pop, of course. And then Magician Souls for 2. He finds another Exchanging Souls. Go figure. This is going to get to pretty big attack, but not really. So it's only 7,200, and I'll just defend myself. So I do have to figure out something this turn because he's probably going to go into something pretty good. It's Blackluster Soldier. All right, so I can go ahead and banish with Scarlet, grab another Conquistador. I already had another domain, so it's cool that you can actually use Eldlich's effect on field spells. So go figure about that. In case you didn't know, it does still count as a spell, even though it's not in the spell and trap zone. But I'm going to go ahead and pop this Blackluster Soldier. I kind of don't have a choice, right? And let's see what he has. So he's going to pitch 1 card. He draws into a King's Knight. And he goes for Dark Magician Girl. I'll go ahead and Tribute Summon because he's probably just going to go to the battle phase there. And you have lots of options off of Ether. Like you can do Dark Simorg, you can do Lunar Dragon, you can do Erebus, you can do another copy of Ether. So that's why I like to play like less copies of that. I've taken out Caius, and there's another replay that I'll show you that kind of exemplifies why I did that. So cool when you can set Pantheism and Tribute. It's like, it's just so sick. Erebus can go ahead and come down. I'll just take a random card from his hand because nothing on his board is doing anything. And of course he doesn't have any life points anyways because he, paid with the Winged Dragon of Ra. This is against Fluffles. So some decks I think you just kind of have like a really good matchup against. Okay, so I can go ahead and special summon this card. He's going to go ahead and activate Imperm. You probably wait till I used it, but that's not bad. So Pantheism pitches Pantheism, and then, I can search anything, basically. I actually like to have, 1 Tenacity to search with Domain because it helps with the Continuous Trap, to have, something in the graveyard to use. It does come up more than you might think. So, okay. Patchwork. The Prime Monarch can come down. That way my Ether's online. But he's Domain locked, so, yeah, at some point it's just like, hey, what are you going to do? This is against Guru. Not the greatest opening in the world, but he does have an Ash, an Imperm, Summon Limit. I don't really know why he set this. But okay, he does Ash the Illusion, and then he goes ahead and hits Summon Limit. But at least I'm already going to have, a lock. Or no, I don't have any cards yet. I did Tribute Summon, just in case I did end up drawing it, and I do have really good follow-up. So Anshima Frofrit, plus the draw, is pretty decent. I think he's going to go ahead and go to the end phase because he doesn't have anything, and I'll go ahead and summon Eldlich from the deck. Change of Heart isn't doing anything, of course, but in almost every game state ever, if your opponent doesn't have any monsters, you're already so ahead anyway, so it kind of evens out in that sense. I'll go ahead and go for 2. He does negate, which is fine. So most of the things you send to the graveyard give you pluses or help you go even anyways, so it's just kind of extra on top. But he has Domain Lock now. Not that really does anything, but I guess if he did have Super Poly. But, Scarlet and Conquistador, pretty neat. And then I can summon an Ether, or an Erebus from the deck. It is a zombie monster, which is pretty decent to get from the deck. Because if it's in the graveyard, you can, add it back to your hand. There's definitely a few ways that it can be used. I think this is that same kind of deck that ranks 7, the new Kishituri. But okay, so this is the deck. This is the duel. I was like, Caius, isn't it? It's good going second, and maybe you want to side it. I don't know. Maybe that's how you want to roll with it. But yeah, I would have been able to, tribute summon here, but I can't. So all I really have is like nothing. Hopefully a survival. That's what I have. So I just wanted to show that because of this. I really liked it before, and it's still not a bad card, especially when you consider how many like meta dark monsters there are right now. But if you were to do it and you sided it in against what's it called, Despia, probably a pretty good move. But okay, Domain of the True Monarchs. And then you can just, I can summon this. I think one of these, no, it wasn't a dark, but at least I get the banish a monster. You can't go into the extra deck. And then, the Monarch's Erupt also comes down at that point. This is against Scareclaw. He has a Kaiju and DD Crow. Surprised I didn't use a DD Crow there. Surprised I didn't use it there either. But now he can't activate monster effects. Maybe he's thinking because of Kaiju that he's good. But he does go for Indirected Kaiju Slumber, which is like not bad because the Monarch's Erupt still like goes through. So he doesn't have any monster effects for the next couple turns at least. And I've been experimenting with Edia also on here. But the problem is they can get ashed and just, I don't know. I just don't think it's the greatest thing in the world. But I am going to be able to take this monster. So Change of Heart once again coming in fairly clutch here. Can shuffle a card. He then goes for DD Crow. Like, wow, that's pretty good discipline, if that's what you want to call it. But okay, so Kaiju can help him search a Kaiju. He already had one in his hand, but I guess he gets to go and attack over it at this point. But he can't search the field spell, though. He goes into Access Code Talker and pops himself to just get rid of the Monarch's Erupt. I feel fine. He's going like what, -4 to get rid of one card I own. Like I have to feel like at this point I'm pretty far ahead. So he can't get over anything. I contribute summon for the Erebus, and yeah, that was a really good effort though. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty cool that he even tried to do that. I've said this before, like Egyptian Gods and Dark Magician are like bar none the best like combination of cards. Just obviously you have to add a lot more bricks. Although, yeah, that makes sense. I think he's playing too many Dark Magician cards, though. I really just need the cards that stack, right? But I can go ahead and search, too. So sending a Prime Monarch and Scarlet is awesome. Just because he gets the shirts. So Change of Heart, again. So this card's pretty good, obviously. This time I do it right. So it's Ether off of Ether. That way I can go into Simorg or something like that. So this would be great if I had Anti-Spell Fragrance. This would just be like straight up the end of the duel. But he does have a pretty good like way to break this board for sure. He's going to go for Magician's Rod to search, but I'll go ahead and banish Soul Servant because I think he had 2 in the graveyard. Yeah, I do not want that to go through. He can't go into the extra deck, so he can't use Timaeus, the United Dragon. The card's not that great, but I don't really know why I ended up using that. But I actually never even thought about this before. Like, you don't have to pay the life points. Whatever it's tribute summon, then you get just kind of a monster that can pop for 1,000. I think that's actually pretty neat. It's something that I haven't really done, like, ever, I don't think. I think I've always used it. I'm going to have an Omni-Negate here, which is pretty neat. But I can tribute there, which is probably a little more important. And I can go for Luminous, and he just ends up scooping because that was just game. Yeah, just pushing for game, obviously, just a little bit better. Winning the duel. Okay, so that was another decent look at Monarch Eldlich. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Other than that, that's going to do it for today's video, and I will see you guys next time.